matter of trying to find out. It's just trying to find out what's happening.
Okay. So when was the diagnosis made?
The diagnosis was made when I was about between 18 months old and 2 years old.
Right. And how did, so you were suffering from about 6 months, and
yeah.
What was it that made them decide to test for that? If you can.
I'm really not sure. I just went through a series of blood tests.
Right.
Yeah, and then found out that I had sickle cell anemia. My brother, older brother, who's 3 years than me, was also suffering the same thing as well. So they found me before they found it in him.
Right.
So yeah, because I used to suffer more than him at the time. But so they're looking for what was happening to the two of us, and then found out it was sickle cell anemia.
Okay.
So back, you like said you're 60 now. So then did they have all the facilities to to give you this diagnosis that it was sickle cell, and what were they able to do then? What they
were not able to do much then. I don't think they actually understood disease themselves more then. Remember when the parents came over, they were all like more or less healthy young people. The children that were born to them were the first generation children here.
Yeah.
So therefore they were the first generation children to be born here with that illness.
Yeah.
And because of the nature of the illness, I don't think many young babies actually survived sickle cell anemia in those days. So it is a very it's a very misunderstood illness, even up to today, to be quite honest. Yeah. And even back then, the new migration of people with illnesses that they didn't understand, obviously, they were left undiagnosed and untreated.
Yeah.
So, very difficult for my mum, to be quite honest.
So can you tell us a little bit more regarding what is sickle cell?
Sickle cell is sickle cell. You all call it sickle cell. I always call it sickle cell anemia. I got into sickle cell, but it's a disorder of the red blood cells that carry the oxygen around our body. That the oxygen that's in the blood, because obviously our blood is oxygenated by your red blood cells. So the blood cells from a person with sickle cell anemia are misshapen. They're like a crescent shape. They're very hard, very rigid, and very sticky. So they don't flow like your ordinary blood cells, which are nice and round and spongy and carry lots of oxygen. They don't flow around in your veins as easily as those normal red oxygenated cells. Like I said, they're very, they're crescent shaped, very hard and very sticky. And once moving through the veins, will get stuck in your joints and in your organs, and that's then called what we call a painful sickle cell crisis.
Wow.
Okay, so that when they clump together in the joints, it does cause a very painful sickle cell crisis, and it's not just a little bit of pain; it's excruciating pain. That pain can last from anything from like a couple of hours to days and even weeks.
Right.
So it's very, very debilitating. Sickle cell anemia. If you're a person that has a lot of crises, the crisis is normally anemia, tiredness, and pain.
Wow.
A lot of pain. So
yeah. And what can you do for the pain? What do the doctors suggest?
They give you painkillers. Back in the 60s, when I was always in hospital, the painkillers were no more than paracetamols, to be quite honest. Now, you can get your cocodamols, your ibuprofens, morphine. If you're in hospital now and you're on a good care plan, if you go in with a sickle cell crisis now, you'll be given fluid straight away. You'll be given if you need anything up to sort of like strong doses of painkillers would be up to morphine. Right. So they'd probably start you off on something like cocodamol first to see how you react to that, and if that doesn't touch the pain, then they'd give you oral morph or intravenous morphine on a drip.
Okay. Can we just say, before we go any further with this, can we just speak to our audience and just let them know what's happening? So if you've just joined us, and we've been having some technical problems, so that's why Annette's camera is off at the moment, because it seems to be working better with it off. So we do apologise that we're not seeing Annette's beautiful face today, but if you have anything what you would like to ask Annette, if you wanted to know anything else about sickle cell, or if you're suffering with sickle cell, then please leave us a comment, and we can leave us a question in the comments and we will read them out. Okay, thank you. Sorry to interrupt, Annette. And Marcy, you'll go ask a question.
Yeah, Annette. So one of the things I remember years ago when I used to work in this area, and one of the patients described the pain as, this is how he described it: imagine the worst toothache ever that you could have. Imagine that intensified 10 times.
Yes,
that's how he described the pain. So I can't even begin to imagine the pain that you go through. One of the things that I understand is that you mentioned actually about a care plan. Is that a recent thing? Because one of the things that has come up has been around the care that people have when they're in a crisis. And one of the things I remember was that there was issues around the actual pain relief, around
yes.
that people, there was that understanding from healthcare professionals that perhaps they just want in a fix because they're addicted to morphine and they just want the drug, as opposed to managing the pain.
Yes, yeah. I mean, we're in Leeds, we're fortunate that every person that's comes under the sickle cell, the hematology team in Leeds has a care plan.
Right.
So they'll sit with you, and according to how you've presented in the past with them, they work out a care plan, and they'll say, well, Annette always claims she's always in acute pain, and this is what you need to do in that, and she needs a bed on the hematology ward. Okay, so we don't even have to pass through A&E anymore. A lot of patients outside of Leeds, I don't know. I know in Leeds you don't have to pass through the A&E anymore, but I know certainly in other parts of the country, patients are going through A&E and there's no care plan for them. So, but in Leeds, I know that if you're under the hematology team, you don't have to pass through A&E. You ring the hematology ward, and they'll refer you to either the day unit or the assessment unit in the wing, and you just present yourself there. And they'll even send an ambulance out for you if you can't get yourself there. Yeah, and they'll take you. Yeah, the ambulance will take you straight to the assessment unit, and then they will take care of you from there. So the first thing they'll do is probably put you on a drip for intravenous fluids, and then start your pain plan. Get you on cocodamol if that's all you think you need, or straight onto a more oral morphine or a morphine drip, or if that's what they think you need as well. So fortunately in Leeds, yeah, you know, we've got, I think we've got it together.
Right.
Fantastic.
I mean, like there was a well-documented case in the media of a young man who was only just 21. I think his name, is it Evan? I can't remember his name.
I don't know.
Evan Smith, and he was 21, and he was actually on board, not getting the care plan, not getting any kind of pain relief or anything, and he had to actually ring 999 from his hospital bed and ask the ambulance service to come him out of the ward in a hospital and take him elsewhere, take him back to A&E, because he thought he'd be better off in A&E rather than on ward in a hospital.
Wow.
Gosh.
And how horrible is that?
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, yeah. So, you know, that shouldn't be happening. It's 2021. You know, that was 2021.
Right, yeah.
That shouldn't be happening all of now. You know, anybody that in this country that's got sickle cell anemia and comes under a haematology team should have a care plan in place.
Right.
Wow. And what about sickle cell? Sorry, Marcia.
No, go ahead.
Sickle cell and sickle cell trait. What's can you tell us a little bit about that? Sickle
cell is you have the actual illness, yeah. And sickle cell trait is when you're the carrier of the illness. So if you're a carrier, if you've got sickle cell anemia, your mum and dad have both got a trait, or you could have a mum with either of your parents either have trait or the actual illness itself, and then have passed that on to you. So say if you've got a parent, both your parents have got the trait, you've got a 1 in 4 chance of having sickle cell anemia with the sickle disease. So it's the gene from your dad and your mum. So you get a faulty gene from your dad, faulty gene from your mum, and you'll have sickle cell anemia. You may get a faulty gene from dad, a good gene from your mum, and that you'll have sickle cell trait. Okay. You might have a good gene from your dad, a good gene from your mum, and you won't have any kind of sickle cell at all. You won't be a carrier. You won't have the illness. You won't have you won't have any kind of illness at all.
Yeah.
Okay. Or you could get a good gene from your dad, a bad gene from your mum, and be a sickle cell trait.
Right.
Okay.
Wow.
So you've got a 1 in 4 chance of the illness. Yeah.
So
wow.
that's very, very high. So in terms of, you know, testing, you know, for people that don't know, what do you think that still needs to be done? Because sickle cell anemia, sickle cell disorder, because it's variable, isn't it? You can have different types of these. You can have
different types of sickle cell as well. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
yeah.
it's really important that people be screened. Could you tell us more about the screening process?
Yes, the screening process I think they do the screening process once babies are born. I think all babies should be screened for sickle cell. Sickle cell is predominantly affects people from African and Caribbean descent, but it also affects people from Mediterranean descent as well. Okay, and also you know, like Spanish, Italian as well. So you know, it's not just a black illness. It's not just an illness that affects black people. It can affect other people as well. Okay, so you know they do screen babies. I don't know how old they are when babies are screened, but they do screen them regularly. Babies are really screened, especially babies that are from African and West Indian backgrounds. They are screened.
Okay, but you know, like sorry, Marcia, you know, I was speaking to somebody yesterday, and he didn't realise that he had sickle cell until he actually went into. He's never been to hospital before. He'd never needed any blood or anything like that. And so he's in his early 40s now, and then he's realised that he's actually got sickle cell. He needs to be tested. So how can we get tested?
Has he got sickle cell, or does he have the sickle cell trait?
Sickle cell trait.
Right. Okay. That's quite. You know, that people should be really tested, even in adulthood, and whether they've got, especially if young adults, and you know, thinking of getting married or you know, just starting a family, they really need to know if they've got the sickle cell trait, or if sometimes they've got the sickle cell disease and they even realize they've got the sickle cell disease because they've never had, from a childhood, they've never had any kind of painful crisis or anything, you know. So, and that happens as well. You know, you can be born with sickle cell disease. You can have the sickle cell disease, and by look of your blood composite, not you know, having painful crises. So you go for a long time, because I'm not sure that everybody knows this, but you're not born with proper blood. You're born fetal blood.
Fetal.
Right.
Understand that fetal blood doesn't change for a long, long time. And if you can go sort of like nearly adulthood, and if your fetal blood hasn't changed, the health services may not realise that you've anything wrong with you.
Right.
So you might not, you know, you won't, you may, you know, you might give blood, you have blood tests and everything, because you know, you've never had a painful crisis or anything. They're not looking, they're you know, not thinking, oh, this person could have sickle cell anemia. Which anybody really that presents with any kind of anemia or any kind of illness, really, I would hope that they would be tested for sickle cell anemia.
Right.
Just so that, you know, the health professionals know what they're dealing with, and you also know, can be given the, you know, a diagnosis as well, because it's quite dangerous as well if you're given anesthetic and they don't know that you've got something wrong with your blood. You know, that can be quite fatal to you as well.
Wow.
Because you're not carrying enough oxygen in your blood. Remember, when they're putting you to sleep, your oxygen levels are going to be dropping, even though you're going to be getting oxygen. So it is important they know what's happening with you,
right,
you know, with your blood. So,
and that's especially important with sickle cell trait, because a lot of us, you know.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Because when you're out and about, you meet somebody, you're thinking, oh, you know, has this person got sickle cell trait? Has this person got cell anemia? You're just out to meet somebody, you know, a life partner, whatever. You know what I mean? You're not really worried about that until the time comes and baby's here, you know, so it's important that, you know, you learn, you know what's going on.
yeah.
So is there such a thing as you know, like if there is I mean, how common is it actually, Annette? You know, like you're talking about, you know, if you're meeting somebody and getting the screening, how common is it for our community to actually go and get screened as a couple? Is it? I
don't think it's common at all.
Right.
I really don't think it's common at all. Yeah.
It's something that really needs to be highlighted.
It's something that people need to do. Yeah. It's probably not. It's not common at all. It's probably not common with people who have got like cystic fibrosis to think, oh, you know, let's go get screened before we make any babies. It's not, you know, it's not probably common at all with anybody. Do you know what I mean? Because it's not something that as professionals would say, oh, you're getting, you know, when you grow a job or anything, you're thinking of, you know, starting a family, and do you want screening with your partner for X, Y, Z? I don't think it's a common thing that a GP would do.
Right.
Because do you think that needs to happen? And I'm just thinking, I'm just asking you the question, and I'm thinking particularly about thalassemia, which is it's not the same, but it's kind of another blood.
Yes, yes.
But say like in the Mediterranean, they have, by law they have to be screened, don't they, before they get married? I don't know if that's still the case, but
I'm not sure if that's still the case either, but I know one time it was the thing. Yeah.
So the awareness was there,
That's
so
right. Yeah, at least the awareness was there. Yes, yes.
Yeah. Do you think that's something that we should be pushing for? Sorry,
No, go on.
I think couples, even if they're, if you as a couple try and push for it more, it would be good. Yeah, even if it's something that, GPs think that they can't push on more, you couple could maybe push back more yourselves.
Yeah, thank you.
I wanted to ask, because I know like years ago, I can't remember his name now, his name's just gone out of my head, and they wanted people to come forward for bone marrow testing and that. So is that something what will help people with sickle cell?
Bone marrow, do you mean what? I think the young man's name is it Daniel DeGale?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. In terms of for blood transfusions, yes, it would be good if we had more black blood donors, so that when you're in hospital with a sickle cell crisis, your blood was coming from a black blood donor.
Right.
It would for some reason it takes don't ask me why. Don't ask me the science, Marcia.
Certain antibodies that we carry that sometimes.
That's right, Marcia. It is the antibodies we carry. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So how can we get people then on the register to donate blood?
Well, it would, if we could. I mean, I don't have in the adverts that have been going out over the last couple of months for blood, for people to go and donate blood. There's actually one that says, that is encouraging black people to give blood, because it does say, if you have a sickle cell crisis, we need black people, we need black donors, and it's really when I first heard it, I wasn't actually paying attention. I think I was reading a book at the time, and then I heard it. I thought, oh, wow, how that's absolutely really good. That actually put on the TV. It's like a cartoon. It's like it's like not a cartoon, but it's like a quick book thing. He's talking in one bubble, and she's in another bubble. I know, so it's a good advert. I could, if I can find it online, I will send it to you.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, yes, it is. It's something that I'm quite interested in. Trying to encourage people to give blood.
Yeah.
So that the stock is there. So that it doesn't last forever, but if you people that are going regularly from a genetic background to blood, well then obviously if the need's there, it's that they know that they can call that person. Yeah,
absolutely, because and it's easy as well to give blood.
It is easy. You get a biscuit. When you go in blood, get a biscuit and a cup of tea. And that advert is all around getting a biscuit and a cup of tea. And it's the reason why, as a black person, you can go and get a biscuit and a cup of tea, and your blood will be helping somebody with sickle cell anemia. It is really a good advert.
Yeah, and it's really good when you give blood as well, because they actually tell you where your blood is going to go. And I don't know how many units they take off of you, but I think is it 2 units
you give or something like that.
Yeah.
Help
8
out.
pints or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 6 people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that one donation that you give helps people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that could be, you know, it could be somebody with sickle cell, it could be somebody with pneumonia, it could be somebody with leukemia, any kind of, you know, any other illness that needs a blood donation. They're not just holding it, especially for somebody with sickle cell, but it will help others as well.
Yeah, no, brilliant. Marcy, have we got any comments or any messages?
Oh, I can't see anything on here.
Oh,
so,
let's have a look.
Yeah, it might be me. So
all right, okay, so we've got good evening, Jackie. Hi, Jackie. Hi, Maggie. Hi, Nazreen. Hi, Sam.
Gosh, you people.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us. And please, if you've got any questions, just leave them in the comments. You're getting a lot of love hearts here, Annette. And Jackie is saying, I've known Annette Sutton and her brother all my life. They are 2 of the strongest people I know. This is a long overdue to be talked about. This is great information. Oh, excellent. Thank you, Jackie.
She's a friend, yes. Yes, good. She's a good friend.
So how can we move forward, Annette? First of all, do you think we need to do campaigns? How can we move forward? You know, even with people, you know, donating blood and finding out, you know, to get tested, but also with scientists, what can scientists do to go forward? Because I know in America
there's a lot of research that's going on around sickle cell, especially not to, well, moving towards a cure, but also making sure that we're not suffering so many painful crises. I love us now who have had a lot of painful crises or have a lot of painful crises, either have blood exchanges regularly to prevent those, or you're on a clinical trial for preventative measures, stopping of having sickle cell crisis. I take regularly, every day, every morning, I take a drug called hydroxycarbamide. And that actually alters the makeup of my blood. It's not clotting as much. It does stick as much. What it does is change the makeup of blood back to like a baby, back to fetal blood. So it's not, I don't have as many sickle cell painful crises as I used to. And I've been on that treatment now since for about the last 7 or 8 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and it has changed my life. It has actually stopped me from having go from like 3, 4, maybe 5 hospitalizations a year, down to where I can maintain myself at home.
Wow.
So house is now a child that I can stay at home and be at home in bed, you know, stay at home, making sure I'm drinking plenty of fluids, taking my painkillers at home, and until I get over it. And you know, there are still occasions where I do have to go into hospital because it's just too much, the pain too much, or I've got chest infections, and you know, which you know leads to pneumonia or something like that. So I will have to go into hospital. Yeah, the worst crises that you can have are the acute chest pains and the acute back pains, and if you get those, you really need to be in hospital. You don't want to be tackling those at home yourself. You know, acute chest crises can lead to a lot of complications. You do get a lot of complications with sickle cell anemia. You know, you can end up having strokes, problems, heart attacks, you know, bleeds on the brain, problems with your spleen, kidneys, and your liver. So, you know, regular treatment, and you know, keeping up with your appointments with your hematology unit, your hematology team are very important.
Right. Wow. So, you know, like you were saying, so how is it, you know, you're taking these tablets now, and you've been taking them now for the past 8 years. And so are they still doing tests so people don't have to take medication? Is there, you know?
There are some people I've said that they've had what do you call it now? Sorry, I've lost my train of thought now. A bone marrow transplant, and they think they've cured them of sickle cell anemia. That's all in the US though that I've read out those. I've never read about it anywhere here. That's those. I mean, mainly here, I think the main treatment is either the hydroxycarbamide or the blood exchanges every 6 to 8 weeks, depending on how severe your sickle cell is. Exchanges every 6 to 8 weeks.
I think have you got your cat? Oh, we've just got a bit of feedback going there, just repeating it. Are you still there with us, Annette?
I'm still here, yes. Can you hear me?
Excellent. That's, yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah. So I just wanted to just ask you about, you know, the crises, and you know, people are working, so it's about the amount of time, or you know, in terms of the workplace environment, are people, you know, how are they with you? I mean, are they compassionate towards you?
I've always worked, and I've found I made it my job as a person with sickle cell anemia who wants to out there working, educate my employer and my colleagues as well. And that I will tell anybody that I go for an interview with, or I have in the past told them, listen, I suffer with this illness, and at times there will be times when I'm unable to work because of the illness. And then if I don't get the job, well, then I don't get the job. But I'm working with Leeds City Council now for the past 8-9 years. I've been with them now, and I've always been very open with them, and you know, about what's happening with me and my illness. And thankfully, they've been a very good employer to me as well. Yeah,
that's fantastic.
But I think it's important that, you know, you do try and educate your employees. And all of them have all been very good. Have all, you know, very supportive. You know, I mean, when you like when I was working for companies like 30, 40 years ago, you know, they were always very supportive at all. You know, it was always like ringing you up, well, you've been off for a week now, you know, you must be better now, you know, and you're not ready to come back to work. And things like that, you know, you get bad even though you try and educate people of what's happening, you know, you still get the bad employer, you know, who still doesn't really understand what's going on. But then, you know, it's still up to you as well. I've always taken on myself, sort of like make sure that they understand what's sort of happening as best I can.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I will try and get them to understand what's happening with me.
Yeah. No, that's good.
I do that with wherever I go. I just want people to understand the illness, you know, have an insight into the illness, know, it's scary, it can be misunderstood sometimes, but that person with illness is still a person, and they can leave.
Absolutely.
They are employable, you know, they are employable, that they're very intelligent people, some very, you know, there's a lot of people out there with the illness, you know, have gone on to get very good educations to degree standards. You know, there's a lot of people in the entertainment industry who have got illness. Miles Davis, the jazz musician, had the illness, sickle cell anemia. Is it Tion Watkins from the group TLE? She has the illness and she advocates in America for the illness as well. Lawrence Tate, the actor, who was in Love Jones. He's also in a series called Power. He's got the illness, and he's a very advocate for the illness as well. Yes, yeah. There's actually I haven't written his name down, but there is an NFL football player who suffers with the illness, and now that is a high impact sport.
Yes,
it is.
If you can do that and have sickle cell anemia, you're doing, you know.
Yeah,
don't tell me you're not employable.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So to our audience who's watching now and who's going to watch on the replay, what advice would you give them to help somebody who has sickle cell?
You need to stay hydrated. I've got props here and you can't even see them. I've got a big bottle of water for you. You need to stay hydrated. You need to eat your greens. I've got a big bunch of broccoli here to show you. But anyway, you need to eat your greens, get your veg down, you stay hydrated, lots of vitamin D, stay warm, yeah. Do exercise as well. I mean, I can't do the high impact running and, you know, jumping out sports, but if you're able to do that, you know, do your exercises as well. So, but I like to do parties on a morning and an evening as well if I can. You know, go walking if you can as well. But do the regular thing. The main thing is to stay hydrated. Drink at least, you know, try and get you 2 liters of water down you in a day. Yeah, have a good diet. Make sure it's rich in vitamin C, in the folics, like folic acid. Folic acid is very important. You've got to sell, you know, because it helps to mend those tissues that have died off because you've not haven't had enough oxygen going around your blood. So you know, anything like cabbage, broccoli, you know, a lot of things that have got a high in potassium, like bananas. Yeah, you know, banana a day. I have banana with my porridge on the morning. You know, so a good balanced diet, stay hydrated, stay warm, you know, check in with health professionals regularly, you know, don't miss your appointments, you know, keep with everything, go for regular blood and everything, you know. If you're on medication really to help you stay well, because a lot of people with sickle cell anemia are on folic acid and penicillin V and the hydroxyapatite. Make sure you take medications regularly as well. Yeah, that's what my thing would be. But you know, go and do whatever you want as well. Don't just think, oh, I've got sickle cell, I can't do that. You can. You know, go on your holidays, go out with your friends, you know, if you want to, you know, if you want to be an astronaut, you know, you want to try and do it, you know, get yourself doing whatever you need to do you want to do. Follow dreams. That's what I'd say. Make sure you follow your dreams. Don't think that because you've got sickle cell anemia, you can't do X and you can't do Z. You can, yeah, as long as you look after yourself. I mean, when I was young, even if I went swimming, it would bring on a crisis. But you know, now, I mean, I when I was young anyway, when back in the 60s, they used to put blooming ice cubes in that water when you went to swimming pool. It was that cold, so and would get poorly going in that water, in the swimming pool water. We went swimming at school. But when it would always bring on a crisis. So, but now, you know, people are different. People are getting treated sooner. You know, young people, they're getting, you know, get on the medications as young infants, so they're not having crises. So therefore, they can, you know, sort of like, you know, go and do whatever they want to do. You know, if they want to be a professional footballer, they can do it. If they want to swim, they can do it. You want, you know, do whatever you want to do. Yeah, you know. Yeah.
Can I just ask a question before we go? You know, like if you're a carrier, so if you're sickle cell trait, and just say you meet somebody and you both get tested and you both got sickle cell trait, can you at that stage pass that on? So there's sickle cell anemia to the, if you have a child.
Anemia. Yes. Because like I said at the beginning, if you're sickle cell trait and your partner has a sickle cell trait, you've got a 1 in 4 chance of your baby having a sickle cell anemia.
Right. Yeah.
So mummy will have the trait, dad will have the trait, but you've also, the trait means you've got half with sickle cell and half being that normal. Yeah. So you could pass a normal gene onto your baby as a mom, and the dad can pass a normal gene onto the baby as a dad. They don't have the cell anemia. Mum or dad could pass a sickle cell trait onto the baby and 1 normal gene onto the baby. The baby will then have sickle cell trait. If both mum and dad pass a sickle cell trait onto the baby will have sickle cell anemia.
Yeah. No, you know, Annette, it's been so fascinating, such an interesting subject. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, say that again.
No, I'm just saying it's just been an interesting. I know it's such a shame we can't see your face. Oh, what a shame! But you know,
it's a face anyway. We don't need to see it.
No, we do. But you know what? We can hear, because it's such an interesting topic, and we actually need to listen to everything you've been saying, and we can hear all that. So it's a shame your camera's not on, but the information what you've given us has been brilliant. So thank you so much for that. We're just going to check our comments if we've got any more. If anybody's put any questions in there, let's have a look. And no, there's no more questions in there. But what I wanted to ask, so what are you hoping in the future that the scientists will find, you know, for sickle cell?
I'm hoping that they will find a cure, or if not a cure, at least a way that nobody has to go through a painful sickle cell crisis. Painful sickle cell crisis is the worst thing ever, really. The pain from sickle cell it's horrendous. It's really, and I wouldn't want anybody to go through it at all. So that is my thing, that even if they can't cure it, they have a way of stopping the full sickle cell crisis. That is my biggest wish. Nobody has to have a full society.
Yeah.
And that there is cure there. I have I have great hopes that they will find a cure.
Yeah.
That if a baby's born with sickle cell disease, you know, they will be able to say, you know, this is what we're going to do, and from the time that baby is a year old to if they for whatever age, 9900, you know, they will never have, you know, there will be no worry at all. And also my thing is that I want anybody to have to go into A&E or any hospital there, and the staff there and not understanding what a sickle cell crisis is. Every nurse, anybody that's going through nursing training, anybody that's going to be a doctor should be taught, should learn what a sickle cell crisis is. This is what we do when somebody in pain with us from a sickle cell crisis, and nobody is thought of as being there just to seek drugs to get high.
Yeah.
I don't want to be hearing that at all anywhere.
Yeah.
There's too many, you know, we're in 2021, 2022. You know, I really don't want to be thinking that, like in 2021, you know, people being ignored, having a sickle cell while they have sickle cell crisis, dying, and ringing 999 from a hospital bed.
That's ridiculous.
Because they're not, you know, the staff are not following their care plan, or, you know, I mean, that young man was denied oxygen. When you go into hospital with a sickle cell crisis, the first thing they do is the fluids and oxygen. You know, it's just, that's just not on at all.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear anything like that ever again.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just highlights.
You know, the world is a good world, and you know, people with sickle cell, you know, we do have a good life. We go on and we you know, we achieve our goals. I know, you know, don't be scared of having sickle cell anemia, because you know, life expectancy before was very short for a person with sickle cell anemia. But now, you know, they told my mum I wouldn't live until I was 6 years old. I'm 60.
Wow.
So there you go.
That's
Wrong
brilliant.
debate. But that's, you know, that is down to good care from my mum and my sisters and my other support network around me, and the NHS, who are always there making sure that they took care of it as well.
Yeah.
And I know they're doing it for other people as well. That is we're surviving for this long amount of time. Yeah.
No, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. Thank you so much, Annette. Marcy, I know you were going to say something.
I was actually going to ask, so what, and you might be asking this actually, Leslie, so, but it was just to say, what's happening? Is there anything happening in terms of, you know, raising awareness, things that people can get involved with to really highlight?
I'm not sure about what's happening at the moment. I know, you know, we are trying to get another sickle cell support group going again, and you know, awareness is there is awareness month. The sickle cell awareness month is in is it May or June? I can't remember, but yeah, you know, and there's a World Sickle Cell Day as well. So you know, there's always things going on around that time as well. Yeah, and I know myself, that is when I always like to, especially with work colleagues, remind, you know, just put it out there as a reminder, you know, that it's still out there. And I also like to, I want to sort of, my next thing I'd like to do is promote people from ethnic backgrounds to go and give blood. Yeah. As well. Yeah. Yeah. We definitely. Blood. We really do need to go and give blood. Definitely. Yeah.
I've just checked online, and it's the 19th of June, Sickle Cell Day.
That's it. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that'd be really good. That's what we should start. We should start some sort of campaign or something within the community, you know, to get people involved in giving blood. And
Yes.
we've seen it doesn't hurt, it's fine. And then
Doesn't
to
hurt.
find
And you
out,
get scared.
yeah, exactly. But then
And
to find out where your blood's going to go, that's
yes.
just amazing, and who it
Yes.
helps. It's just fantastic. So yeah,
Yeah.
I really like that. So before we go, let's have a look. Hi Maggie. Maggie's asking, let me just see. You look good. Let's just pick up a job. All right. All right, she's saying, wait a minute, about your 60. You can't be 60,
Yes.
you look so fantastic.
Thank you, Maggie.
I know exactly, 60 and all that. Thank you, Maggie. And yeah, thank you for joining us today, Annette, and sharing the awareness with us.
Yes. Yeah.
It's well appreciated. I know that it's been a very interesting topic, and that, so yeah, thank you so much. And Marcy, is there anything you'd like to say before we go?
No, just to say I wish we had longer, because there was so much I wanted to ask you, but I know the time that we've got, but it is such an important topic, and we are really, really grateful that you're able to come on and to share your experience as well, because more people.
Thank you, Marcia. Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely. But no, thank you, and thank you so much to our audience for tuning in. Well appreciated, and we will see you soon. I can't remember the date we're back, but we will see you soon. We will send out.
Thank you for inviting me on as well, Leslie.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm so glad that you came on. I've been wanting you to come on for ages.
Yeah, I know.
Well, thank you for coming on. Well appreciated. And before we go, Jackie's just saying thank you so much. Yes, we will definitely be bringing her back. Yes, definitely, Jackie. So thank you for that. And you, Jackie, the summer's nearly here, so we need to get you back on the platform as well. Talk about these holidays.
Next time we come back on to speak about it, probably we come in by our sickle cell clinical nurse. Her name's Susie Moon-Wade, and she will be able to give you a lot of scientific facts about sickle cell. She's lovely.
Okay, that'd be really interesting, Annette, as well, because I know in America they're doing a lot of work regarding sickle cell, but there were some questions I was going to ask, but I thought, but no, we'll definitely come back again regarding that.
Susie, she's a lovely lady, and she will be able to answer any of those sort of like medical scientific facts that you want us to. No, that's brilliant.
Annette, just stay right there. Let's just say bye to our audience. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us, and we will be back soon. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.